We are here with Michael from Oris. He is the region manager for the independent watchmaker Oris, based in Holstein for over 100 years. He is in Manila to show us some fun toys, including the new Aquis chronograph. And he's here to answer the question, why don't we have enough Calibre chronos? Michael, welcome to Manila.
Good to see you, Carl. Always
How long
pleasure.
Are you here for?
Well, I've been here for about a week now. Today's my last day, so I'll have to head out now again. But it's been great to spend a bit of time here in Manila, see what's happening in the Philippine markets, and obviously also trying to see how we can find some more Calibre shears. But I'm sorry to say they're all gone.
I know, and I know most of the people that have them, so that's a good thing. Okay, well, let's get going.
All right, great, thanks.
Okay, welcome again to Manila.
Thank you very much.
How long you've been bouncing all over Asia now? You guys are moving all over the place. What's the reasoning for that? Are you just expanding in this area? Are you expanding globally?
Well, basically, I've been, quite busy around Asia ever since we last met in Basel. And the reason for that, is that there's lots of activities. I mean, I just spent a week here with our partners here in Manila, getting a good feel of the markets and what happens here. Also seeing, now that the first part of our new collection has arrived here in the market, seeing how that's been received. And it's been very interesting to see how those novelties that we have planned for many months and years, even back in the factory in Holstein, are now out here with the people, and it's always really interesting to see the reaction to these. So this is a very interesting time, just right after Basel, these few months, to see, if the message that we have been thinking of back home is actually arriving. And it seems that we have quite a few products this year where the people have awaited, and that we're more than happy to now deliver and get onto people's wrists.
The big news on our side was the new Calibre bronze chrono, which is an awesome piece, and we have people lined up for it. The other one is, which is generally does well in Manila, is the Aquis.
Yes.
And that's your new watch. How do you? This is the right market for that watch anyway. But in general, around the world, how is it being received?
Look, over the last few years, Aquis has become really a very important part of our collection. We've been doing these diving watches for many years now. Actually started doing diving watches in the 60s. So I think there's a lot of, not only knowledge that we've built up, but also have quite a wide collection that field now. And Aquis is certainly a family of watches that we're very proud of, and that I guess a very good reaction across the world, and particularly also in Asia. And I think, what's nice about it is that 2 years ago, we have, 1 year ago actually, we have updated the design very lightly, just basically worked on the little details, just looking at the watch itself, the design itself. This was the date watch that we started with, and just to see, okay, what can we improve? Where is there some room for an upgrade? To just make a product that we felt, and the partly also the trade was really good already, very well received, just to make it a touch better. And this is what we've done last year, and I have, it's really nice to see the demand was overwhelming. It's been a bit of a problem because we had, we couldn't fulfill all the orders, but at least that's a good problem to have. But it's just shown how well it's been received. This year, what we have seen in our Aquis collection was kind of like a competition of the range. So whereas last year we focused on the date watch, so a simple 3-hand watch with a date. Our main, the main size as well, 43.5 millimeters. This year we have completed the range with adding a 39.5 millimeter version, so slightly smaller, but still not too small. So a good mid-size, you could say. And we have also added at the top end the chronograph, which we are actually right now introducing in Manila, here in this market. And that's actually now giving the whole Aquis collection And we are taking this further and further. I mean, this year we've launched the Calibre 114, which basically, well, it also lives in this case, our Pro Pilot Aviation case, and it comes with a GMT indication. And again there, it was a lot of discussion about, okay, for a pilot's watch, what's the most useful complication as a GMT? Because pilots need to know what the time is back home, or for our logbooks, they need to know the global time. So this is important. And then we were thinking, and this is also coming from our travels, ourselves in this industry. Okay, how can we improve it? And we were talking a lot about those special time zones that are in between the normal ones, and those half-hour time zones. They exist in a number of places, like in Australia, Canada, India, but also in Afghanistan and in other places. We were like, how cool would it be if you had a GMT watch that would allow you to actually set these times? And now you could say, well, it's just a few people living there or just a few people traveling there. But still, the more we looked into it, the more places we found where actually they have these, exactly in between times. And from the outside, it may look a bit weird, but okay, sometimes it's for political reasons, sometimes it's for other reasons. But anyway, we're not about to judge that. We're about to bring in solutions for the world, and this is why we have developed the Calibre 114 watch, and this Calibre with a GMT function that actually allows people to use it in a half-hour time zones too. And this is something we've brought out this year as well, and this was now, for the moment, the latest version of our in-house calibers. But you can be sure that we're not stopping there. I mean, also in our movement development, there's lots of ideas going around, and we'll see where it takes us next.
When you first brought out the 110, you had a very specific look for the watch.
Yeah.
Then you went with the Pilot look. Mm-hmm. Which one do you find people are more interested in?
Well, when we brought it out, we basically brought it out in a very, let's say, classical shape, in a classical case. Like it's been part of, or it's living in our Artelia family, which is part of our culture world, and basically that's just saying it is quite a nice dress watch, right? And this certainly was a great way to start, because in our culture world is also where we celebrate our watchmaking capabilities, and so this was where it should be. We started with a limited edition that was only 110 pieces in gold and 110 pieces in steel, which, well, were gone very, very quickly, because obviously it was a very special movement, the first Oris in-house movement for 30, 40 years. So people were snapping it up. And it was the right case for that. The Calibre 110 plus, so to say, I mean, this family is always just been part of what we do, and it's not just being bound on one family. So it was great for us to bring it into the aviation watch it's about 4 years ago actually already, to bring it into this case and just give it a totally different look with obviously this very distinctive Pro Pilot case. But still, we maintain, what makes this movement so interesting, which mainly is obviously the small second as well as the power reserve indication, particularly the power reserve indication. Just works perfectly fine in a very simple and clear aviation design, because what a pilot wants is just to have a watch that he can read easily and is not getting any distraction.
This is the GMT.
This is what we just talked about. This is the GMT version of the Calibre 111. So this is our Calibre 114. And what you basically have here is the same clean look. And this is now, as you can see, a rather more matte finish. Yeah. It's a black dial, as a pilot watch should be. This is a little bit, this is more an anthracite. Grayish. Exactly. So this is already a step further away, but this is how a pilot watch should look like. So you can clearly get your indications. You're not distracted by anything. No. Yeah. Also at night with the super luminova we put on there, you will have a very accurate reading. And you got your GMT indication, and this is the big red arrow that you can see there that basically tells you your home time or whatever time you want it to show. And then on the back, obviously, it's what you know and what you probably have seen. the big bezel, those big barrel, where we store the mainspring and then 10 days of energy.
And then this is your big deal now, right, Kit?
Yes, so this is the chronograph that we have launched this year in the Aquis collection. I mean, and you have to feel it. It has a bit of weight, actually.
Yeah, it does.
It's a solid amount of steel. But basically, you know, from a design perspective, this is the continuation of the Aquis line. So this now comes with the upgraded Aquis detailing. We did a lot of work on the crown protection, for instance, with the last year's introduction. We also did a lot of work on the crown itself. You know, if you look at the finishing and the way we basically present the logo here, and you know, every little detail, the band has been totally redesigned. And in the end, you know, when I'm just telling you about it, you probably it's all very small touch-ups, right? So you won't necessarily see them immediately, but when you compare with the first version, which we all thought was basically done, you know, design done, so let's just keep producing it for the next 50 years. But then you look at this and you look at those very small touch-ups, also the shape of the case, it just makes it a touch more elegant without taking away from the look of it. Then it's I think it's just a really nicely rounded product. And obviously, you know, we couldn't resist putting the blue dial in that has been so popular with the date version, and that's been in big demand. So we thought, okay, let's try that. And well, this is what it is. So you tell me if it works.
They're telling us to stop talking, but we don't want to. We can chat for the night.
We could do that, absolutely.
No, it was awesome.
I guess we have to.
Awesome chatting with you.
Yeah, no, my pleasure, actually. Thank you. Great to have you here.